Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we're finally going to be transplanting this poor, I believe it's Sansevaria masoniana. Not 100% sure, it didn't come with a tag. It came with a label, but only snake plant. It doesn't even say snake plant on it. It says planted in August 2010. Well, it is 2017 right now, so it's been around for 7 years. It's crazy. So I've had it for 4, maybe? I'm not sure. It usually gives me 1 new growth every year, and it came with 1. So I have 4 new growths. Well, I call it new. New 1 a year. So anyway, it needs to be repotted. Sansevaria are notorious for breaking pots. They like to be a little bit pot bound, so just keep that in mind when potting it. Don't over pot it. You might not see a lot of new growth for a while. It takes a little bit of time for it to recoup and do its thing, but eventually it will grow. Also, with a bigger pot, you deal with the possibility of overwatering because the pot won't dry out fast enough, and then they will rot. I've had these things rot, not this one, but another snake plant rot out because I overpotted it. And it just wasn't drying out fast enough, and yeah, not so good. So keep that in mind. I am going to put this beautiful one. Let me try to move this off camera so that I can do my thing. It's gonna fall over. I'm gonna plant it into this big terracotta pot. Look at the size of those drainage holes. Those drainage holes, I'm gonna put some paper towel over top, as I always do. Because in the house, all the soil is going to come out of that. That's crazy. Those are so big. But lots of drainage is good for these guys. So I'm going to put this down on the ground. Let's get right to it. And we're going to use just an all-purpose fertilizer. As I get this open. I should have had this open before. I'm so not prepared. I'm never prepared. Ah, Bill. So I've got my big tub of soil. I like to, I buy the big bales of soil because it's cheaper. I think I paid $30 for a huge big bale. And then I just use as needed. I fill up my tote, and I have my, my lovely scoop that I use. I love this because there's actually air holes in the back. So that when you try to scoop, it's not, the air flows through it. So it works really, really well. So anyway, let's get down to this. So I've noticed that this pot is crazy. It's been broken apart and the roots are coming out the bottom. I don't know whether you're able to see that. The roots are coming out the bottom. So we're going to have to break this pot carefully. Sure, it won't be a problem. Let's just flip this over. I also have this one leaf that's bent over, this one here. I'm going to end up cutting that off, and we'll try to make some babies. Oh, that was not as painful as I thought it was going to be. And there we go. Dump out all this soil. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I'm in the living room, for goodness sake. So why would I be gardening in the living room? Why not? So I'm just going to try to remove or tease some of the old soil away. I watered this yesterday. This is a very well draining mix. It's more for cactus and succulents. This is a lot of grit, a lot of sandy, porous soil, which is really what you want to use. Like I said, they're prone to being overwatered, especially in the house because we tend to overwater in the house. Sansevarias really can go with maybe a once a month watering. You want to let them dry out completely before you water them again. Look at the size of this rhizome. I don't know whether you're able to see that very well, but that's a big rhizome. And it didn't have any soil at the bottom of the pot. I thought that the plant itself was it had some space before the bottom, and I'm not making any sense. But I thought that there was more soil space for the roots to grow. But I indeed was wrong. So let's flip this over one more time. Don't need to get all of the soil out. Just want to tease it a little bit. And I want to give it fresh. as best I can. Okay, look at how big these are. These things are really stocky. I never thought that it was that big. That's crazy. I hope you're able to see that. So I'm just going to move this off to the side a little bit more. Good luck, Bill. I'm going to move this. The plant is so big, it's moving the camera around. Okay, don't want to get very much soil on the ground, on the carpet. Okay, so here is our nice big pot. We're going to be using this one as our new home. And I've got my paper towel to cover up those darn drainage holes. I say darn drainage holes. It's good that they're there. We need them, but they're just so big. Again, good thing, but not for my soil. It wants to come out. So we're just going to throw some soil in here. You can amend it. This one is a really good one. This is a Pro Mix. And there's lots of perlite, as you can probably see. Lots and lots of perlite. So this drains really, really well, but it also maintains some moisture. So you want that as well. You just want it to drain freely. You don't want it to be like a mud pie. You want it to be nice and airy. You want the air to flow through it and allow it to dry out easily. This is a terracotta pot, so it's going to dry out fairly quickly anyway. Now let me grab this plant again as I bump the camera. Hopefully you guys aren't getting seasick. I can add a little bit more soil to that. I don't know whether you're able to see that. I hope you are. We're still about maybe 2 or 3 inches below the top of the pot. And I would like it to be maybe about 1 to a half inch above or below the pot rim. Trying to concentrate and talk to you at the same time. My goodness, it's like chewing gum and walking. Alright, so there we go. This is going to really love it. I hope that it really takes hold. The poor thing, I didn't realize that it didn't have any soil underneath. So there we go. We've got it in there. We've got about 1 inch of soil from the, there's about 1 inch from the top of where this plant is to the top of the pot. That's fantastic. Now we're just going to start adding some soil in. This poor guy is probably doing a sigh of relief saying, "Oh, thank God." It's amazing how I've had it for so long, and well, I didn't really have the pots and I didn't have the space, and there was a lot of factors. But now it's getting its new home. Better late than never. And hopefully we see that it starts to take off with growth. I'd really love to see this one thrive. It's my favorite one. I look at it all the time and I stare at it and I think, oh goodness, I love the markings on the leaves. I don't know whether you're able to see it there, but the markings are really soothing, really, really nice. I love the different shades of green. Any of us plant lovers, we all love those shades of green. Alright, so I'm just packing in the soil lightly, yet firmly. I want to maintain airflow. You don't want to do it too tight. You don't want it to be like concrete. But you want to support the plant, and you want to take away any large air pockets that might be in there. It's funny, I've said this in all my videos, well most of them, that I'm repotting. Unless you're dealing with an epiphyte orchid, which is one that lives in the trees and doesn't require soil, the roots like airflow. They want good airflow to the roots, but they don't want air pockets. Air pockets can actually kill roots, which is really, really weird. They need air, but too much air is a bad thing. So you want to make sure that it's nice and firmly put in place, and you tamp it down a little bit and make sure that the air pockets are gone, and then you're golden. You've got it right. So this is about right. I could probably use a little bit more soil. As I pack it down, you can see that we're down way below the soil line, or the soil line, the top inch of the pot. Oh my goodness, I can't even get my words out. I'm a gardener, not a speaker. I do things better than I say. Alright, so I've used a lot of soil with this. I can't believe it. Alright, so there we go. I didn't add any fertilizer to this. Usually Sansevarias are slower growing, so they don't really require a lot of fertilizer. I would fertilize it during the summer months when it is trying to actively grow, and then just kind of let it go over the winter, no fertilizing, just watering occasionally. Again, letting it dry out between waterings. And when I do fertilize, it's a light fertilizer. It's not like a full strength. I will do a half or a quarter strength and do it each time I water during those times. What else am I doing? Let's take this. I don't know whether you're able to see it here. Can you see it with this camera? I'm not sure. That wonky leany leaf, I'm just going to cut it off with the scissors. There we go. So we got this piece here. I'm going to move this plant out of the way for a minute, and we will cut it open. Not cut it open. Ah, there we go. Oh shoot. I missed the drip tray. There we go. All in one shot. Oh, this is so heavy. Okay, so with Sansevaria, I've done a video on this before. To take cuttings, you want to take your leaf, and then you want to cut it with some scissors or a really sharp knife. Actually, a sharp knife would probably be better. Maybe I'm gonna... No, this is doing just fine. So you want to have... I could probably make 2 cuttings out of this. I'm going to do... they've got to be about 6 or 8 inches long. So I'm just going to do 2 cuttings. So I'm going to cut it right here. This will be one cutting, and this will be the other cutting. You got to remember which way is up. This way is up because this was the top. It's already calloused here. So I'm going to move the plant back, or the pot back, and we're going to plant them in. Ah, so heavy. I'm going to hurt my arms. There we go. So we're just going to kind of just jam it in, push it in a couple of inches, and then just let it be. In my other video, turn this around. In my other video, I covered them up and didn't give a lot of airflow, and it didn't really like that. I found that they started to rot. So in this one, I'm just going to put them in the pot and let them do their thing, and they should be fine. They're really, really robust plants, and hopefully we will get more babies. So anyway, I used pre-moistened soil for this, so there's no need to water it in just now. I will let it dry out and let the roots relax, and maybe in a week's time I will give it a drink. And let me turn this so you can see it. Oh, those leaves are so beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it inspires you to get into your Sansevarias and maybe repot them, divide them, maybe do some cuttings. Not sure. Also, Sansevarias flower. So if yours have never flowered before, well, it's not uncommon for them not to flower. They don't flower very often, but when they do, they're kind of interesting. They're kind of a quirky flower spike, yeah, they're really, really interesting. So something to look forward to, maybe. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like or subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and join me on the Plants and Things What's Growing page, and share some photos of your Sansevaria. I'd love to see what different types you have, because there's small ones, there's tall ones, there's the cylindrica that have the round leaves that are just big spikes, and they get to be so big. They can be so big. And the interesting thing about the off topic about the cylindrica is the roots tend to grow the same way that the leaves grow. So if the leaves are growing in a fan this way, the roots are also going to grow that way. So if you have it in a plastic pot, you'll notice your plastic pot will get wide because the roots are pushing up that same way. So interesting. Plants are amazing. So anyway, I ramble on. So until next time, happy growing.